Hi everyone, in this video I'll explain the concept of pass by value versus pass by pointer. Let's compare these concepts side by side to fully understand what they mean and how they are different to one another. Let's start out with pass by value shown on the left side here. Pass by value simply means passing in a copy of a variable's value when calling a function. In the example code I have an update function that expects an integer as input. Inside the function, I update the parameter x to 10. Then I have a main function. Here I declare an integer variable named a and I initialize it to 5. Then I call the update function and pass a to it. Now after calling the function, the value of a is still 5. The reason for this is that I'm passing value a by value, which means I simply copy the value in a, which is 5, over to x. So x also holds 5 now. Then when I assign x to 10, I only update x. I do not update a. A real-world example of pass by value could be creating a copy of a document. You take the document to the printer, you press copy, and you get an exact copy of that document. Now you keep the original and you give the copy to a friend. And imagine your friend is a function. Whatever modifications your friend does to the copy will not affect your original document, because you simply gave your friend a copy. This is what's happening here as well. Whenever I declare a primitive data type as a parameter, I use pass by value. Whenever I call this function, like update a, I create a copy of a and pass it into the function. And the original variable that I have in my calling function will never update. Now let's take a look at pass by pointer. Passing by pointer means I pass in the address of a variable. I have again an update function. I put int asterisk x, which is essentially a pointer to x, and then I use pointer syntax and assign 10. Even though you may not have heard of pointers before, pointers are basically variables that store an address. So here I have a pointer to an int, which in other words is the address of an int. Then in my function's body I use asterisk isc. You can read the asterisk as goto. So go to the address of x and then assign 10 at that memory location. Now let's take a look at the main. Here again I declare a variable named a and assign 5 to it. Then I call the update function and I use the ampersand character. This you can read as give me the address of a and then pass in the address. So because I pass in the address, whenever I make changes to the parameter up here, it will affect the original one. So when I update x to 10, variable a will also be 10 after this function call. Think again of a real-world example. You have a physical document and you do not make a copy in this case, but you just tell your friend where this document is. For example, the document is on the kitchen table. Now, ampersand you can read, give me the location of my document. So this would be kitchen table, you pass it in here. Now your friend knows where to go to, so this means go to kitchen table. He goes there, sees the document, makes an update to that document, and then leaves. When you come back and take that document that you left at the kitchen table, you will see that your friend noted something on that document, and the document has been updated. Now this is the difference between pass by pointer and pass by value. Let's take a look at another code example. In this program I have a function prototype named update that expects a single integer as input. I implement this function prototype at the bottom of my program by providing a function implementation where I assign 5 to the parameter number. Now let's take a look at the main function. Here I declare an integer named a and I initialize it to 3. Then I call the update function by passing a to that function. And finally, I print out the value stored in a to the console. This is after the function was called. Now let's execute this program. It prints out a is 3. The reason is that I used pass by value. I created a copy of the variable's value and assign it to number. Then I update the copy to 5. I come back. This is the original and the original is 3. Now let's change this to pointer. A pointer to an int, and here go to that pointer address. So this simply reads as an address of an integer, and go to the address. Now in my main function, I have to get the address of. Now running this program will show you the value is now 5. This uses pass by pointer. I declare an integer named a and initialize to 3. Here I get the address of a, whatever it may be. I'm not really concerned about the exact address. I just care where is my a located. And I provide this to the function. Now this stores the address of a. Then I say go to that address, assign 5 to it, and now when I come back here, a is 5 as well. You can imagine it like declaring a single integer and then having 2 arrows pointing to it. And 2 arrows know exactly where to go and what to update that single integer. For simple variables, it's not too important to use one way or another, but as you advance in programming, if you get larger data structure, pass by pointer is much more efficient than copying the entire value. I hope this gives you an idea about the difference between pass by value and pass by pointer. Thank you for watching.